Your water bill is next. The federal government is about to force every city in America to replace its lead pipes. Somebody has to pay for that. It's not going to be Washington, it's going to be your water bill. Here's the full story and how much it's actually going to cost you.
A street in Pittsburgh is torn wide open. Orange cones, a backhoe, and coming up out of the dirt is a gray pipe that has been buried there since before the Great Depression. It is lead. 3 weeks later, a water bill slides under a door in that same neighborhood, and it is about $15 higher than it was last month, with nothing on it that explains why. And if you are sitting there thinking this is a Pittsburgh problem, I need you to stop right now. Because every single water utility in America just received the exact same federal order. So here's what I am going to show you. The federal rule that quietly reset the price of water in every American city. The wave of rate hikes already landing on bills from Pittsburgh to Portland to Detroit. And the two things you can look up tonight for free before the next one shows up on your own kitchen table. It starts with Flint. Back in 2014, the city of Flint, Michigan, switched its water source to save a little money, and it ended up with lead in the drinking water of tens of thousands of residents, including children. It became a national disaster, and Washington swore it would never let it happen again. So in October of 2024, the Environmental Protection Agency finalized a rule with one blunt demand. Every lead service line in America, which is the pipe that carries water from the street into your home, has to come out of the ground. That is roughly 9 million pipes across all 50 states, and the clock is already running. Here is where it turns into your problem. Somebody has to pay to pull 9 million pipes out of the ground, and the federal government only put in about $2.9 billion. The full job is estimated at somewhere between 45 and 90 billion. So there is a gap of tens of billions of dollars, and that gap does not just disappear. It gets loaded onto your water bill city by city through a slow process almost nobody in the public ever watches. Now, I want to be completely fair with you because this part matters. This is not a scam and it is not a junk fee. Lead in your drinking water is genuinely dangerous, especially for kids, and getting these pipes out of the ground is a real public health win that most people would gladly vote for. Nobody is defending lead pipes. But a good goal and an expensive bill are not opposites. And the way this particular bill gets paid, quietly, permanently, through rate cases you never hear about, is exactly why you need to understand it. Before it lands on you, instead of after. You have actually watched this exact pattern before, with your electric bill. A big cost gets loaded onto a utility. The utility files what is called a rate case. A state commission approves it, and the number on your bill goes up, and then it simply never comes back down. That is the shape of this whole thing. It is not a spike that passes. It is a new floor under your bill, permanently higher. And the cruel part is that it is happening to water, the one utility you cannot cancel, cannot shop around for, and cannot live a single day without. So where is this already happening? Because this is not one city having a bad year. In just the last 6 months, the same 4 letters, LCRI, the nickname for this federal rule, show up in rate case after rate case across the country.
Hey everyone, real quick, I've got a special price on the Money Mindset Mastery Program. It is changing the way thousands of people think about money, how they deal with money, use money, make money, everything about money. It is going to blow your mind. Links down below to that. Now let's get back to this video about water.
Pittsburgh, 15% higher, effective in March. Erie County, New York, up more than 9%, and here is the tell. 42% of that authority's entire construction budget is earmarked for this one federal mandate. Portland, Oregon, up about 8% as of the 1st of July. The water authority serving the Detroit region, up nearly 6% at the wholesale level, feeding more than 100 communities. And just last week, Pennsylvania American Water won approval for a roughly $75 million revenue increase, with lead line removal named right in the reasoning. And then there is Chicago, which is the warning sign for the entire country. Chicago has more lead pipes than any city in America, more than 400,000 of them. And it costs about $31,000 to replace a single one there, which is more than 6 times the EPA's own national estimate. The total bill facing that one city is around $12 billion. Every one of those numbers I just gave you is a permanent increase. And every single year between now and 2037, when the last pipe is supposed to be gone, is another potential rate case year in your city. But here's the part almost nobody has told you, and it is the one that can hit you directly. That pipe running to your house comes in 2 halves. One half runs under the public street, and the utility pays to replace that through the rate case that raises everyone's bill a little. The other half runs from the sidewalk across your own property to your front door, and that half is legally yours. There is no federal money for it. The federal dollars go to the utilities, not to homeowners, and a proposed assistance program for lower-income households is still just that, only proposed, not passed. So replacing your own section can run anywhere from $1,500 to about $5,500 straight out of your pocket. And in a high-cost city like Chicago, homeowners have been quoted numbers that would empty a savings account. So here is exactly what you do, and you can start tonight. First, find out what your own service line is actually made of. Your utility was legally required to publish an inventory listing the material of every line in its system. So go to your water utility's website and search for the words service line inventory, or use the EPA's national database and type in your address. If it comes back saying lead or galvanized requiring replacement, or even just unknown, then your property is already in the queue. Second, look up your utility's rate case calendar, because every one of those proceedings has a public comment window where you are allowed to file a protest or testify on the record, and almost nobody ever does. And third, find out whether your city offers any cost sharing for that private half of the pipe, because some do and many do not. And knowing which one you live in is the difference between a plan and a surprise. So go back to that torn open street in Pittsburgh. The pipe was the easy part to see. The bill is the part they never explain. And it arrives one pipe, one rate case, one city at a time on a clock that does not stop until 2030-7. There is the bill everyone shares, the one that quietly raises your monthly total. And then there is the second one, the one for the pipe under your own front yard that has only your name on it. Look up your own line tonight and know your city's next hearing gate, because the bill is already on its way. Thank you for watching this investigation. Economic Ninja is out.